Yo! What is the deal, everybody? What is the deal, everybody? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your gracious host, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody in the chat. You're wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. And salute to my brother, Alex Rebel Rojas, the Wasted Hour. What's up, Raiders? Heisman Mendoza is getting closer to being a Raider. Oh, my God. Look, man, it's going down. There are a lot of things that we need to get into. As you well know, based off of, the thumbnail, based off of the news, Fernando Mendoza, our guy, I'm claiming it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a claiming, man. Fernando Mendoza, our guy, has declared for the NFL draft. There were a lot of people that were, trying to say that he wasn't going to, that he doesn't want to play for the Raiders. That is very, very contrary to what I'm hearing from Fernando Mendoza, right? The Raiders are a good situation, man. And I kind of feel like in my opening rant, I kind of feel like I see the energy in the national media, right? I've never seen people have the number one pick in the draft, there be a draftable quarterback at the top of the draft, and have the media trying to talk any organization out of taking that kid. I'm going to play a couple of clips, right? I mean, everybody and their mother is like, it's almost like people are upset that the Raiders got the number one pick. It's almost like people are upset that Fernando Mendoza just might be the kind of player that we believe he can be. That, you got people saying that, you got to build the team. So this is the funny thing. What happens when you build the team up, right? Build a team up and they still can't get a quarterback. I mean, what happens? What happens? What happens if this kid comes out and he goes somewhere else and he's a generational talent, and then the narrative is going to be for the next 20 years, well, the Raiders could have had Fernando Mendoza and they chose not to draft him. Bro, look, man. I'm going to play the Dan Patrick clip. There are other clips out there, but it is so many people that it's almost like they can't hide. They can't even hide it, man. It's wild. I've never, ever, ever seen people in the media that are so pressed and upset that one team has the number one pick. But yo, and my guy John just said it in the chat. But you empower the 49ers to trade their entire draft future for Trey Lance. It's wild, bro. It's wild. I've never seen it. I saw people saying when Caleb Williams came out, you have to take Caleb Williams. When Joe Burrow came out, you have to take Joe Burrow. No matter how bad the team is, you got to draft a quarterback. I've seen so many of these guys get overdrafted. It's almost like, and it's not that they hate the Raiders, right? I think they hate the fact that they're not going to be able to use us for easy engagement. I think that the media hates the fact that they're not going to be able to kick this team anymore. They don't like it. They want to be able to kick this team. They want to be able to dog this team out and say the Raiders are bad. They want to do that. Like anytime I see Stephen A. Smith, you know what I'm saying, and his bum ass, anytime he can, he takes his shot at the Raiders. And for what, I don't know, because that guy doesn't know the first thing about football. He's got to be, I don't see how that guy is where he is in the sports media space. I don't. It bothers me that he's where he is. He's fucking horrendous. But they hate to love us, man. They hate it. And don't give them the satisfaction, Raiders. Make sure that y'all take this kid. Make sure you do everything you can to develop him. Because everybody is saying that the Raiders are so bad. And I'm going to tell you something. The Raiders are not as bad as they're saying they are. The Raiders had some bad coaches last year. The Raiders had some bad coaching. Point blank, period. And guess what? Salute to them, because of their ineptitude, we have the number 1 pick. But guess what? If they take this kid and he looks like he's the goods, I am going to be calling out every single member of the media who says that we shouldn't take him. If the Raiders turn this shit around fast, and excuse my language, guys, I know this is a family show. I should not be cussing right now. Salute to the chat. Salute to all my people out there who support Friends. Great show. But everybody, we're going to be keeping receipts. We're going to be keeping receipts. That's the reason why I don't dog out people who love the Raiders, bro. No matter how I feel about people's, that's the reason why, yo. I try to stay measured, and I try to stick together. I try to support the people that are in this space that love this team. I try to. And everybody gather around the fire. Gather around the fire. Wasted Talent is on his soapbox. But I try to, because we got to support each other on some level, man. We don't all got to be buddies, because I'm not a phony. But, there's only one person in the sports media who consistently gives the Raiders their due, and it is Rich Eisen. Consistently, bro. That's in the national media space. Him and MJD, who was a former Raider. But, man, it's bad out there, man. It is bad out there. Now, all of a sudden, that Fernando Mendoza, it is looking like he's coming to the Raiders. Now, all of a sudden, he need to go back to college. Now, all of a sudden, the Raiders don't need to draft him. Now, all of a sudden, he's not a generational talent. Bro, newsflash. We don't need him to be generational. We need him to be our quarterback. We need him to be the best quarterback of this generation of Raider fans. The hell with who's generational, who's not. They throw generational around a lot in the National Football League, and there's a lot of dudes who are mid who are called generational. Understand that. Know that. We need him to be a winner, bro. Nobody called Jalen Hurts a generational quarterback. And Jalen Hurts got some jewelry on his ring finger, man. Guys, telling you right now, Fernando Mendoza has declared for the NFL draft. He was making his rounds. He's on Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if you guys saw that. Not Jimmy Kimmel, but Jimmy Fallon. changed his LinkedIn profile. I don't know if that's real or correct. But man, I tell you, it's a wonderful time to be a Raider fan. Everybody, salute to everybody in the chat. Let me get a few of these super chats, man. Salute to my guy Aunt Steezy. 2. I said it on Grab Show, but if Stidham goes off, I think it has to be Davis Webb. Not a prisoner of the moment, but almost can't pass that up. See, the thing about that is this, and I'm a big believer in, the Raiders going out there and kind of buying low and selling high and getting a young coach that is the next Sean McVay. That's what we want, right? Hopefully, John Spytek and Tom Brady have the ability to recognize that. Hopefully, they are good. See, hiring good people is a talent. Being a leader is a rare skill, right? But also understanding how to staff, your organization is a rare talent. There are some people that are just good at hiring coaches, man. They're just good at it. Some people outsource it. The Raiders tried to do that last year. They brought in a headhunting firm that does corporate headhunting. The Kansas City Chiefs used the same firm when they hired Andy Reid, right? But that wasn't, something to where, Andy Reid was already, widely looked at as one of the best coaches in the league, when he came to Kansas City. But I digress. But the Raiders definitely need to buy low and sell high. They need to make sure that they take the road less traveled and they leave no stone unturned and they hire the right coach, not the coach that the media is telling them to hire, not the coach that everybody wants to see. Look, if they hire Davis Webb, my support is behind the Raiders. Say, for instance, they don't hire Kubiak. But what I don't want the Raiders to be is left at the altar, right? I don't want them to be left at the altar. Now, I don't think that any of the coaches that have been hired in this cycle, besides Jesse Minter, were really high on the Raiders list. I don't think that the Raiders were willing to capitulate to John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has got the Giants firing people that have worked there for 20 years. He wants control and say over everything in that building. I'm a little surprised the Giants are giving him that, but that's none of our problem. Kevin Stefanski is not somebody I think was high on the Raiders' purview. I don't think the Raiders were going to go back around the dance floor with Robert Saleh because they tried to hire him last year and he turned them down. And I don't think that Robert Saleh and the Raiders were going to be a match. I think that they liked Robert Saleh, but the way that situation played out last year, there might be some sour grapes there, right? So, Saleh wasn't a guy, right? And then now here we are. Right. The people that the Raiders are most likely considering are all in the conference championship and they got to wait their turn. And I prefer them to do that. And I want the Raiders to go out there, have some recency bias. I don't want them to, be hasty because, you have to be confident and measured in your approach. Right. Steelers, they're doing their just due. All of these other organizations are doing their just due. I think the Raiders need to continue to. And I think that, there are people that are waiting for all of those McVay family tree guys, the Chris Shulers of the world, just the LaFleurs of the world. I think people are waiting around for that. And I think the Raiders, listen, man, the season is not over yet, right? These guys are still competing. And I think sometime in the middle of next week, you're going to get the determination of, who the next head coach is going to be. Because win, lose, a draw, tie, whatever, we're going to know who's going to the Super Bowl. Conference championships are coming up, right? So then you're going to have that week in between the Super Bowl and people are going to get their interviews. And I think this is all going to be settled by then so that the Raiders can move forward. And we can know what kind of offense. And it'll kind of give you kind of a nice guide to who the Raiders are probably going to pick. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to my guy, Rudy, man. CGR is in the place. Mark Thompson is in the place, man. Let me get to this one by my guy, Mr. J. Will 619, the serial crop duster himself. Fernando, question. Did the national media act like this with Chicago, Cincinnati, Carolina, or just the Raiders? Yes, 100%. I don't ever remember anybody saying that, the Carolina Panthers shouldn't take Bryce Young. It wasn't if they should take him, it's who. It wasn't, yo, Chicago don't draft a quarterback. It was, which quarterback are you drafting? Now it's a situation where there's only one guy that is the guy at the top of that draft. And now you have people saying this, right? And this is the thing about this draft. This draft has some talent in it, but it's not loaded enough for you to trade down. You can pretty much stand pat, and there's not really a huge delineation between, some of the guys you're in the second round and some of the guys you get in the middle of the first round. That's what kind of draft this is. I think this draft is more of a fit kind of a draft. I don't think this draft is, look, you got some of these guys at the top of the draft that are Caleb Downs and guys like that. These are guys that are one of ones, right? But unless you trade and you get somebody early, or you trade down to somebody with the 5th pick or something like that, to me, I don't think drafting a safety trumps drafting a guy that can quite possibly be your quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. Salute to the almost 600 of you guys in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. It is a Friday night live, everybody. We will be rocking and rolling tomorrow. We will be dropping some quick hits all weekend. Quick hit videos. They've been hitting for you guys. Guys, let me know how you guys have been liking the pre-recorded content, y'all. How have you guys been liking it? And salute to my brother CGR, the My Father Extraordinaire. Become a member of the Wasted Talent Army. Hit that link above. You will be a member of the channel. And look, cool thing about being a member of the channel is there's going to be I'm going to start raffling some sports memorabilia. I'm also going to start doing some members only lives. The late night wasteds are all going to live on the members only channel. And I know how much fun we have over there, y'all. Salute to everybody in the chat, yo. Yo, my guy Ruben Russ, can you list your pros and cons for Kubiak and LaFleur? I've heard personality for Kubiak, but is that from players? Is that from people looking for a reason? Ruben, you don't know exactly how a person's going to be, when they're in that driver's seat until they're actually in that driver's seat. I've heard nothing but great things about Clint Kubiak. And just from the outside looking in for me, Clint Kubiak is a guy who grew up in the game, grew up around the game. He has been mentored and taught how to coach by Hall of Fame guys, Mike Shanahan, and Mike Shanahan having his dad and his father, and all of the success that his father has had, being around Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. Like, dude, listen, when you start talking about the X's and O's, right, and you start talking about how people feel about, Kubiak, what you need to do is just look at what Gray Zabel said about Kubiak. You know what I'm saying? Gray Zabel, man, really, 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 really loves Clint Kubiak, man. Loves the guy, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, he freaking loves the guy, man. You know what's funny? What I'm gonna do is, because I don't do this a lot, but I want to share with you guys what Gray Zabel said about Kubiak, man. And you guys tell me, man. You tell me what you think about Zabel, and what you think about his ability to lead people. You tell me, man, because this is the thing for me, right? And I'm gonna play this clip for you guys. I don't think that people who are not sold and bought in on guys that are leaders, or guys that they don't like, they're not sold on guys they don't like. So let me play this. So, Gray Zabel, great young rookie, tends to love Clint Kubiak. I've heard nothing else but great things about him. Now, when it comes to LaFleur, right? LaFleur, I have, you know, more questions about. Now, LaFleur has had a great resume, right? So on paper, LaFleur looks like he's ready for the moment, right? He looks like a guy that you would want to hire. He looks like a guy that if you are, you know, an executive, you would look at where he's coached at and you'd probably say, man, God damn it, I got to bring this guy in. I got to bring this guy in. I mean, like, yo, the guy's 38 years old. He's been all around the NFL. He's worked under Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. He's a younger brother, Matt LaFleur. You know, he's been a wide receivers coach. He's been a passing game coordinator. That's one of the things that I like. He's been an offensive coordinator. But see, this is the thing. When you talk about LaFleur as an offensive coordinator, the only time that I can be sure that he was calling the plays was when he was with the New York Jets and with Robert Saleh, and that did not work out. They talk about his development of young quarterbacks, but I've seen him try to develop Zach Wilson. That didn't work out. Now, is that a symptom of the disease that is the New York Jets, or is that LaFleur? Because he was named offensive coordinator in 2021, right? He struggled. The Jets finished 26th in yards and 28th in points a game, 32nd in rushing yards, and 18th in passing offense overall EPA. I mean, the Jets were bottom 7 in both third down conversions, fourth down conversions. They were last on average yards needed on third down. The offense was talented. They say that it was far from talented enough to win, but it was talented. They had a pretty talented, you know, group of guys, right? You know, Michael Carter is not a bum, man. You know, you had Zach Wilson, who I think was really done wrong, and I think that, you know, the Jets pulled the plug on him way too early, right? I really do, man. You know what I mean? And then, you know, the team struggled with Zach Wilson. They had Mike White and they had Joe Flacco, right? So, you know, with those three quarterbacks, they had a combined like 3,700 yards, 15 touchdowns, 14 picks. And Breece Hall, you know, was a beast, man. You know, he had 80 attempts, 436, 63 yards, and 4 touchdowns before a season-ending injury. But the team ranked high in RPO and pre-snap motions and stuff. That's a lot of the stuff that he got from Kyle Shanahan. But I don't necessarily know how effective that is, right? I don't know how effective it is. But he had pieces, you know, that are similar to what the Raiders have, right? You know, I'm not saying Breece Hall is Ashton Genty, right? But you know, you have a young, talented quarterback and Zach Wilson. You got a young, you know, rookie running back. You would think that he would be able to make that work, and he wasn't able to do that, right? And then they drafted a lot of young offensive linemen as well, right? Now, following his firing in 2022, the Rams hired him, but he served primarily as an offensive assistant because Sean McVay is the play caller, right? He handles the majority of the duties doing that. So it's very hard for me to give, you know, LaFleur that kind of credit for that situation because that genius lies with Sean McVay. And that's part and parcel of the reason why I want the Raiders to take an offensive head coach. But the whole personality thing, I think is a cop-out. Like people said that Ben Johnson was a robot. He didn't have any personality. And they weren't sure if he was going to be any good, if he can be a leader of men. You're never sure until you make the decision to commit to a knowledgeable head coach. But see, look, the thing about it is this. Players respect knowledge. They want to be taught. They want to get better. Like guys that make it to the NFL, it's very rare you get a guy that's a lazy spirited guy that's an underachiever and is okay with not doing well. These are guys that are at the top of the human food chain. These are guys who have a lot of discipline. They want to be great. They're putting their bodies and their lives on the line every single play. So the thing about it is, for me, if you don't have anything tangible to give these guys, they're going to tune out on you. So the starting point is knowing your craft, being good at your nomenclature. Being good at your nomenclature, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. The flying wonderful Yvette Niles with the $10 slappy. Salute, Wasted. I'm good with waiting on the right coach. As long as we get the right one for the next 5 years. And Yvette, listen, 5 years is to me the basement. I want a coach that we can look up 10 years from now and be proud that we have that coach. I want to start a new dynasty, so to speak. I want this to be a golden age of the Raiders that we're going into. I don't want us to have to draft number one again like that. I don't want us to be in this position again for a long, very long time. I want the Raiders to be the kind of organization that people can be proud of and that the league can respect, because I'm sick of these assholes in the media talking about the Raiders like that. Salute to my guy, A Spivey, Wasted, my articulate brother. What is your word of the day? Mine is a compound word. Fernando is the real thing. Raiders, salute to my guy, A Spivey, the Kevin Nash of Shieldmore, yo. My guy, the juice. Bring them young minds in. That's what she said. That is what she said. Bang, bang to the zoom zoom. Oh, my God. I mean, what the F is going on here? You got to chill with all of that crap. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. So, yo, listen, man. My guy, L11, I'm doing research on LaFleur, but he values QB protection, good run game, and offense that's understandable for the QB, a typical West Coast offense to have checkdowns available when a deep pass is not there. Look, I'm going to be real. You know, Mendoza needs that RPO stuff, right? That's a lot of what Clint Kubiak runs, and it's a lot of what Mendoza runs. With Davis Webb is thought to be a QB whisperer. Now, I think, you know, somebody said it earlier in the show, watch how Jarrett Stidham does. I don't think that I'm going to give Jarrett Stidham, like if Jarrett Stidham goes out there and plays, right, I'm not going to give Davis Webb the credit for Jarrett Stidham playing well. Jarrett Stidham played well when he was with the Raiders. A lot of us wanted Jarrett Stidham to be our starter, right? Jarrett Stidham played well when he was with the Patriots. Like, Jarrett Stidham is a backup's backup. He's a guy that you would want to have on your roster if you're a good football team, to have that guy that is actually startable. He is one of those rare backups in the National Football League that if you start him 5 games, he might win you 3 or 4 of them. That's what kind of player he is. Jarrett Stidham could mess around and be the new Nick Foles this year. And to me, you know, it begins and ends with that. So I can't give Davis Webb Jarrett Stidham. I can't give him that. Bo Nix, maybe. Can't give him that, bro. My guy Todd, Wasted. Just got done listening to you on JT the Brick. Great job, man. Yo, thank you, bro. Salute to JT the Brick. Salute to my guy, man. Salute to my guy JT the Brick. Salute to the Bricktator, man. And all of the people down there. Y'all go in there and support, you know, JT the Brick, a Raider legend, man. And salute to my brother, the Violator, bro. Salute to him, man. Yo, love Violator, man. He always shows support. He's always down for the nation, man. Salute the Violator is the man, bro. The great Wayne Mayberry, man. My guy. We cannot get LaFleur if we do all division rivals are going to be posting clips of Ben Stiller and Dodgeball when he was like, "You ready to lose in Las Vegas with these losers, LaFleur?" You stupid, yo. You was stupid, man. Yeah, the media is just trying to sell Davis Webb to the Raiders fan base. Look, the media doesn't have to sell Davis Webb to the Raiders fan base. The truth is what sells Davis Webb to the Raiders fan base. Now, this is the thing about Davis Webb, right? I think that if Davis Webb gets hired, right, for whatever reason, if the Raiders think that he's that wonder kind, right, if they think that he's like a Sean McVay was, right, because he's around the age that Sean McVay was when he got hired. He's the same age that Sean McVay is, or around the time when Gruden got hired. Gruden got hired the first time he's 31 years old. He's a young guy, right? He had that buffer up in the organization and Al Davis to kind of reel him in, though, right? But McVay was young, innovative, hit the ground running, did very well. Had a number 1 pick quarterback in Jared Goff, did very well. Got to a Super Bowl, lost, made a trade, won. possibly going to another Super Bowl, right? And if you look at a lot of the coaches that are in this league, they all come from under him and Kyle Shanahan. But look, thing is this, right? Davis Webb, if he does come here, is not coming here without help. Because I think that what you're going to see is you're going to see his former head coach when he was at Texas Tech, because Davis Webb was at Texas Tech for like 3 years, and he played, his last year at Cal, right? You're going to see Davis Webb and Cliff Kingsbury most likely together here. And that'll be a good thing, because you'll have a guy that's on the roster that can kind of assist with how a head coach runs things, because Cliff Kingsbury has had and held that job in college and in the National Football League. Davis Webb is growing on me. Yo, you got to chill, bro. He said more and more. And for what I've been hearing about him from the people he has worked and played with, he may have more leadership skills than Kubiak. Bro, look, once again, the leadership thing is something that you don't get a chance to really exhibit until you're the guy that's in the driver's seat. Like, how do I know that you're a good driver if you're in the passenger seat? How do I know that? Like, I know you can lead your group, right? But being a leader of men and making everybody move in the same direction, I think what you can do is you can point to the job that they've done all around the National Football League. How many different incarnations of them as a coach in the league can you point to? And then look at the desired result. Did they get that desired result when they were a coordinator, when they were a passing coordinator, when they were a wide receivers coach? Like, what was the desired result? And when you look up and down Clint Kubiak's whole career as a coordinator, you can't put any smut on his name. He even did really well with DC down there with the Saints too. He did until DC got hurt. My guy Ruben Russ with the $5 slap-a-roon. Did Zach Wilson get LaFleur fired? Mike White went crazy in his offense before he got hurt. It was just such a bad offense and hard to look past. I think that there was a piece of all of that, right? I think that Zach Wilson was a young quarterback and they were trying to bring him along, right? But the thing about that is that when you see the deficiencies in said player that you're putting your eggs in that particular basket, you have to call the game, and you have to call the game to his strengths. You have to help him help you, right? So to me, I do have to put that in the lap of Mike LaFleur. I do. That's a part of it, because you can't say it's not on him and the player's bad, and then you get a situation like Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. He's coming into a situation where Caleb Williams did okay last year. He did all right, and he's markedly improved him as a rookie. From being a rookie to now, he's made a marketable improvement, and that's because of the leadership and stewardship of Ben Johnson. And then listen, there are other people too, man. There are other people out there too. Like, don't sleep on Mike McDaniel. Don't sleep on him, man. 510 Shady. I finally caught a live Wasted show. Salute to Wasted, doing big things and giving us great rate of content. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. And appreciate everybody that's in the chat. We got over 700 in the room, man. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Dodgers swinging. New subscriber. What up, Raider Nation? Much love from Central Cal 559. Salute to my guy. Dodgers win, man. Salute, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for pulling up, bro. Gunplay Raiders. Wasted would be trembling if he seen me walking down the street with my drip on. Well, bro, I don't think Wasted ever trembles. Let me tell you something about the great and powerful Wasted talent. I don't tremble. I don't dance unless I hear good music. I don't scratch my head. I don't tap dance. I don't shoe shine. And what I definitely don't do is I ain't scared of none of you mother effers. And when you talk about this whole drip thing, right? I'm the freshest dude you know in real life, Gunplay Raiders. I really am. So you could take your bridge troll looking ass up out of here with your crap. Get F up out of here with your crap. If Wasted seen you, he would laugh at you. He would laugh and say, ha 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 ha. Learn to live with it because it's the best thing going today. Nah, man, I'm fucking around, man. Salute, my brother. Salute, man. Yes, my son did play at Texas Tech. He was there with Davis Webb as his quarterback, and Pat Mahomes is on the bench. B.J. Jones. Salute to my guy, man. Salute. My guy, Kaysen. He said Clint Kubiak, Mike McDaniel, Davis Webb for me. And Mike McDaniel's definitely there, man. He is definitely there, man. Definitely there on the list for me. If Mike McDaniel does not get a head coaching job, he's supposed to be. See, the thing is, you got some of these coaching guys, these coaching candidates, like such as Brian Flores, such as Mike McDaniel, who are expected to take coordinator jobs in lieu of them not getting head coaching jobs. So stay tuned for that, because I know that they're still interviewing, and there's a possibility, especially with a guy like Mike McDaniel. He's a very innovative guy. That's a guy I wouldn't have a problem with Mike McDaniel, right? But when you start talking about the leadership trope, right? I have more tangible evidence that shows me that Mike McDaniel is not the kind of leader that I'm looking to lead my organization. He's the play caller that I would love to lead my organization. He is not the leader, right? So the thing is, who's he bringing in to support him in that construct? Because if we're being honest, when he was in Miami, when he lost Vic Fangio, he has some issues. My guy was ready. I think we end up with a coach that doesn't have many options. I really don't think it's a great job. You don't go 17-0 and win a Super Bowl, you will probably get fired. Irish Raider, what are you talking about? What do you, man, get the F up out of here with your crap. What are you talking about? That might be one of the worst comments of the effing night. I have to gong. F up out of here. Terrible. Terrible comment. I mean, the Raiders are a great effing job. What's wrong with you? It's a great job. The best job you can effing have, man. Oh, wasted. The chat was trying to get you to replay Gray Zabel video for 5 minutes straight because it had no audio. You went on for 10 minutes without knowing us typing in all caps. Yes, that's right. Listen, this is the wasted. This is Raider Nation Unlimited featuring Wasted Talent, not featuring Bodega. And Bodega, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that the next time that you come here with your nonsense, you will be going back to where you are so welcome. The effing gulags, you effing little bum, you. The F up out of here with your crap. So listen. You guys want to hear it? You guys hear it? Do you hear it? All right. So he couldn't speak highly enough about Clint. There it goes. You want to hear it? Here it goes. Raider Jeff, get out of here with your crap, Raider Jeff. You guys still didn't hear this crap? I mean, what the F is going on here? The audio cuts out? Happy Friday to all you. Listen, I blame Raider Jeff for this. I blame Raider Jeff. This is 100% Raider Jeff's fault. It's either Raider Jeff or David Zahn. One of you guys. Seriously. David Zahn's going to pee himself. He definitely cannot handle his liquor. And you guys are not allowed to call me Boomer McBoomerstein. I call myself that. But get the F up out of here. Salute to my guys, man. Salute to my guys, man. Salute to my guy, Raider Jeff. He likes it. What? Somehow, somewhere, it's your fault, Raider Jeff. I don't know. It's either you or Dave Zahn. One of you guys. Oh, my God, man. All right, listen. You guys know I am a boomer, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this the boomer way. I'm going to do this. I am going to do this the boomer way. This is what we're going to do. This is what we got to do. Hey, listen, the great and powerful waste of talent has not mastered all of this new fandango technology crap. Sorry. Thing is, I know how to fix anything, figure any damn thing out. But when it comes to running this show, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what happens. But guess what?
Coaching opportunities. If Clint does get hired, what kind of coach would that team be getting?
Yeah, Clint's just the worst coach ever. Don't hire him. No, it's cool to see that he's going to have opportunities, and he deserves every bit of success, every opportunity, every job that he gets down the line. So can't speak highly enough about Clint.
Yo, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, get out of here, bro. You know you had a rotary phone, too. Hey, Jeff, look, man, I think you're a little older than me, Jeff. Get out of here. Yo, hold on. I'm up here trying to play the clip going like this. Yo, you know what's so funny? I showed my kids a rotary phone at their grandparents' house. They were like, "What is this old-timey crap? What is this? How do you even do this?" They're like, "What did y'all used to do? What did you guys do before you had cordless phones?" But I was saying to myself, if one of my kids had to use a rotary phone, they'd be stuck. They wouldn't be able to call 911. Salute to my guys, man. Yo, salute to my brother, H5. You get the 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses. The Wasted Talent Army is grown in droves. The Get Off My Lawn gang is strong in here, brother. My guy, Raider Jeff, he goes, what? That's right, Jeff. That's right. Hey, yo, y'all make sure y'all go support Raider Jeff too, man. Support him and Chris for Raiders and all of those guys over there. They put on a hell of a show. They go a lot longer than me. They go a lot longer. They're on for like a few hours, man, those guys. But they break down all the Raider stuff. I think they're transitioning more to like an NFL centric situation over there, if I'm not wrong. But you're going over there, you can join the chat and go and support those brothers, man. Support. Listen, man, support all the Raider content creators who are consistent, bro. That are giving good content out, that aren't on no bull crap, that are cool to everybody and make it a welcoming experience. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all of them guys over there, man. Robert Cisneros, not Boomer, Fossil. You gonna watch the new Herman movie? What? Get the F up out of here. Hey, Jeff, I ain't mad at you, bro. There, try to broaden your right. Like, you gotta look, bro. You know, in this space, you got to do, you know what I mean, what you feel comfortable doing, bro. Yo, I fuck with it, man. Yo, one negative I noticed with Kubiak back with the Saints was that he ran the ball on third downs way too often, especially when probably should have passed it. Her LaFleur have the same issue. Well, bro, when you have a running back like Alvin Kamara, I'd do the same thing. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. Look, I thought you said Herman, bro. Oh, He-Man. Yeah, you didn't put the hyphen in the middle. Am I gonna watch the He-Man movie? Yes. Yes, of course I'm gonna watch the He-Man movie. Of course I'm gonna watch the He-Man movie, man. The Master of the Universe. That's my era. You damn right I'm gonna watch it. Think again, He-Man. I wonder if Jared Leto's gonna sound like that. Yo, I thought he said Herman. Bro, look, there's so much going on. I thought I saw R there. Yeah, that's my bad, yo. Salute to my brother Rudy the Vet Russo, the GOAT. Yo, look, but I just want to know if Jared Leto's gonna sound like the Skeletor I grew up on. Think again, He-Man. Oh my God. But you know the funny thing, bro? Yeah, that's a show that has Skeletor in it. The crazy thing about Masters of the Universe, right? It is something that we loved, right? And the thing that killed He-Man for me was the Dolph Lundgren movie. I said, what in the actual fuck is this? I was such a big He-Man fan when I was a kid. I had the toys and everything. Had all. I had He-Man, Battle Cat. I had Castle Grayskull. My little brother is nuts. My brother, my brother and I are my younger brother and I are like, we're like Irish twins, right? Me and my little brother, he's like a year and a couple of months younger than me, right? But my little brother, if I wanted Superman, he wanted Lex Luthor. If I wanted He-Man, my brother wanted Skeletor. My brother always liked the bad guys. My little brother always liked the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came to like superhero stuff. Like with me, I always liked the bad. I always loved the bad guy wrestlers. Like I always loved, my brother loved Roddy Piper, but I always loved Ric Flair and stuff. I always loved the bad guy wrestlers. But that's how my little brother was. Yeah, but yeah, man. Salute to my brother Graphic Raider in the place to be. Salute, man. My guy Rorschach, Wasted, the master of voices and drip. Thank you. Thank you. The drip god is in the place to be. But guys, let's get to this whole Lamar Jackson stuff, right? Stop with this whole He-Man stuff. Hey, listen. Yo, Raider Jeff, let me ask you a question. Did you not have G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip? I know you did. I mean, listen, yes, I had all the He-Man toys. Yeah, nah, Graf, trust me, bro. Your drip, yo, you see, like you suck that, Graf. That's so lame, yo. You trying to catch up, bro. Let me tell you something, yo. Your drip is definitely not even catching nothing, bro. Bro, child, please. If you think this is killing the game, bro, I check my text, bro. Yeah, Grab drip apostle, bro. Drip apostle. And listen, salute. It is a very good try, but there is only one drip god, bro. Only one. I mean, my God. But child, please. Yeah, and they're not dolls, they're action figures, you effing bums. But look, I want to get into this whole Lamar Jackson thing. No, bro. Listen, bro, that's you, bro. I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, bro. It's cool. Like, y'all, I respect it, bro. I respect it, graphic hater. But we know who the player hater of the year is. This is the real player hater of the year right here. But no. This is the thing, right? This is the thing. The whole Lamar Jackson trope. Now, I put a short out about it. We've been talking about it. Look, at the end of the day, the Lamar Jackson conversation needs to be had because, I saw people in the comments. I saw people in the comments. And look, I'm going to be real with you. There are a lot of people that I think have a sight blindness to people who are very physically talented that play the quarterback position. They have a sight blindness, right? There were a lot of people who they look at Lamar Jackson and they say, man, he can run, he throw the ball. And I like Lamar. I like Lamar Jackson. But that style of football has never won. Never won. And I can't even say, and I was talking to Grab about this earlier, right? He brought up Jalen Hurts. And I don't even look at the style of football that Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, even though, I don't think that's commiserate. That's not a commiserate style of play to me, right? Because I look at it like this. I look at Jalen Hurts where they're using him almost predominantly as almost like a running back, throws a lot of, he doesn't put the ball in places and spaces where they're asking him to push the ball, matriculate the ball down the field at all. Like it's not the same style of play to me, right? Like that Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, high wire act does not win in the National Football League. It doesn't. Now, functionally mobile quarterbacks, that wins, right? But we live in a world where, Sam Darnold is a game away from going to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is a game away from the Super Bowl, bro. I mean, this is a guy that everybody had on the scrap heap. This is a guy that everybody had on a scrap heap. I mean, and Lamar, listen, salute to Lamar Jackson, but he's 3-5 in the playoffs, man. He got to the AFC Championship game and lost, right? But he's 3-5 in the playoffs, league MVP, all of that. And you got a guy like Sam Darnold, who you got off the scrap heap, who has you in a better position than a superstar $200 million player. Salute to my guy, Raiders fan 7076. Salute to my guy, Spobby. Wasted. Brought that Ackett. You have $275 on Amazon. Yeah, the jacket, you might have. You know what I'm saying? You might have, but bro, there's so much more. There's so much more, my guy. I'm just gonna be real with you, man. Be real with you, man. There's so much more, man. But this is the thing. Like Lamar Jackson, that style of football as you get older, right? And you're a run first quarterback, you rely on your legs. You're relying on your athleticism and you're not winning from the pocket. That doesn't win. It doesn't win. Like you got all of these supposedly athletic run first quarterbacks and they always say, well, they just need a wide receiver. Then you get them a wide receiver and what happens? Nothing, because they don't get them the damn football. Why do you think A.J. Brown wants out of Philadelphia right now? So look, let me tell you something. I would much rather have a Fernando Mendoza than to have that shit. I would much rather, because listen, does it sell tickets? Yeah. Do you win games in a regular season? Yeah. But when the money's on the table and you have to complete a pass to take you to a Super Bowl, to win a playoff game, little different, bro. It's a different kind of pressure. It's a different kind of pressure where they scheme for you. And it's one game or go home. It's a whole different ball game. And I'm going to tell you something. This is not a situation I want the Raiders in. And then you have a situation where you got a guy that is a third of your team's salary, and he's not doing his job at a proficient level. And there's a difference between being able to make the beautiful throw, the tape measure throw, and making that throw you need to win a game. To make those throws that only your receiver can either catch or drop. Dropping it right there in a dime, dropping it in a bucket. Those Eli Manning throws that he made, to Mario Manningham on the sideline. Don't see, that's the kind of quarterback I need. I'm sorry, man. Ball placement is a huge thing that is not talked about in the National Football League. There are some quarterbacks that have the talent to put the ball in places and spaces where the football needs to be. No one ever talks about that. Everybody talks about the arm, the tape measure throws, the speed, all these different things. That you can take that stuff and you can stick it in your ear. Because if you can't march down the field with 3 minutes left to get me a field goal when I need to win by 1, I don't need you. If I can't depend on you to take care of the football, I don't need you. I don't need you, bro. I don't need you. And I don't give a shit how pretty you make it look. I'm about winning, bro. I am cool having a quarterback that wins me a Super Bowl, right? That don't light it up like that. I don't need that. I don't need you to be the fantasy quarterback. I don't need you to be a top fantasy scorer. Listen, it's cool if you have Aaron Rodgers kind of talent and ability. That's great. We all strive to see that in the NFL. We all strive to see that in the NFL. But look no further than the guys that are winning Super Bowls. These are guys who can win from the pocket. These are guys that can win from the pocket, man. My guy, Ruben Russ, wasted. Denny's or IHOP. And what you think about Helani following Kubiak to Vegas? We wouldn't even need the number 1 pick anymore, bro. This George Helani thing, I know you got to be happier than a pig and shit right now, bro. You've been on this George Helani movement. I mean, since the Boise days, man. And salute to you, bro. Salute to you. But George Helani is a bum. It's an effing bum. It's like, nah, George Helani. Yo, I never seen somebody, ride and represent a player that's as mid as George Helani as Ruben Russ has. But salute to him. He shit, man. He might go to a Super Bowl. He might go to a Super Bowl, man. And look, Lamar Jackson is a good. I'm not taking anything away from him. I don't need Lamar Jackson here in Las Vegas. I don't. I'm cool with that. I don't need a quarterback who makes $200 million that can't even really, that doesn't have a winning record in the playoffs with everything around him. Like, you can't, I don't give Lamar Jackson, I don't give Josh Allen, I don't give these guys that I don't give them any grace because y'all got everything y'all need to win. You got everything you need to win. And yet, look who's dominating. Now, Matthew Stafford is one of the most physically talented quarterbacks there are, but Matthew Stafford is an older guy who is winning from the pocket because he is a thrower of the football. He can put the football anywhere he wants. Bro, you listen, it's crazy that, like you guys on the scavenger hunt finding where I get things from. I get things from a lot of different places, bro. Trust me. And I love it, man. I love it, man. Y'all go out there and strive to be fresh. Y'all strive to get it done, bro. Y'all look, if I've done anything in the Raider Nation, I want for y'all to improve your vernacular, right? Be more well-spoken and step your drip game up. I need us to be the best dressed fan base that there is, y'all. Bro, it's not both, bro. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, my dog. Like, dog, it gets deep. It gets real deep, bro. I'm not a gatekeeper, bro. I need to do it. Y'all crazy. Oh, my God. Raider Profit, man, wasted. Too many commenting about Tom Brady striking out, hiring a head coach. Backdating the last year. Your take? I think that's recency bias, right? Like Tom Brady hired one coach, he tried to. Him striking out. What is him striking out? Listen, coaches understand that they're only gonna get one bite at that apple. We knew that Ben Johnson wasn't coming here, bro. If you're like, just take your Raider goggles off, take them off, right? And think about if you're a guy that is looking for a head coaching job. Think about that. You're looking for a head coaching job. You're Ben Johnson. You are the bull of the woods. You are the belle of the ball. Everybody wants you to be their head coach that has an opening. You can pick whatever job you want. Am I going to pick the Raiders with Aiden O'Connell, or am I going to pick the Bears with a hell of a lot of cap space, some pieces on the offensive side of the football, and the number one pick, a guy that is looked upon as the next Patrick Mahomes? Who am I going to take? Aiden O'Connell with the flavor saver mustache? I mean, bro, the fact that Tom Brady was even able to get Ben Johnson to come to the Raiders and actually interview was a feat all within itself. So to me, he didn't strike out at all. I think what Tom Brady did last year by even getting Ben Johnson to consider it and them driving that competitive offer, and they said it was a hard, like he was in it. I think that shows more so than anything the greatness of what he represents, right? Because what he represents is he represents credibility, and that's something that this organization hasn't had in a very, very, very long time. And that's one of the reasons why I'm firmly behind Brady and what he's trying to do. Miss Patrice, the Flying Wonderful, with the $10 slap of room. I wouldn't be mad at getting Sean McDermott as a head coach, but the problem is we would really need a powerful offensive coordinator, and I don't see that happening. Miss Patrice, listen, to me, that Sean McDermott would be like a fail-safe, right? But I think getting Sean McDermott would be commensurate to getting Pete Carroll, right? Now, he is not 70 years old. Sean McDermott has another, 10 to 15 years to coach. I think that he's been a proven winner just now. He's playoff 9 years in a row. He'd be a better fit for this team than Pete Carroll was, right? He understands football now. The difference is this, and this is why I am like sold out for whatever offensive mind we bring in, because these new offensive head coaches call their own plays. They install their offense. They have their system. The quarterback gets acclimated to it, and they move forward. You have a defensive head coach, and I've said this numerous times, so you guys know what I'm about to say. It's all fun and games until the offensive coordinator has some success. It's all fun and games because once that guy has some success, he's going to leave, and most likely he's going to take one of your best positional coaches on that side of the football with him, possibly few of them. So that's what you get when you have a defensive head coach. Now, if you have an offensive guy like Sean McVay, whether it's LaFleur there, whether it's Flotsam and Jetsam, whether it's Jackie Gleason, whether it's Art Carney, whether it's Carroll O'Connor, whether it's, George Jefferson, it doesn't matter. His system is his system, right? And they're going to continue to be successful. And the quarterback is not going to get that construct of what their offense is interrupted. And that's the reason why. And also, when I start looking at some of these coaches, right, these offensive guys, these are guys who are going to bring in a hell of a staff because, when you talk about one of them Rams coaches, that's a hell of a staff Sean McVay built over there. You talk about Kubiak, he's plugged into that network too. He's going to bring a hell of a lot of talent along with him to fill this roster out. Like real rap. My guy, Ruben Russ. If Alani wins a Super Bowl MVP, he could be our next Malcolm Smith. Do you want him to be our next Malcolm Smith? Do you want him to be Larry Brown? We bring him in and back up the Brinks truck and he comes here and stinks after winning Super Bowl MVP. I would hope he wasn't the effing next. I would hope he wasn't. I mean, my God, man. The F up out of here with that crap, Rube. Best dressed, most articulate fan base. Raider Nation for life. Yeah, that is what I'm striving for. That's what I'm striving for. The most. We got the best women in the fan base too. Can whoop ass and still not drop their beer. Yes, we do. Salute to all the beautiful Raiderettes out there that support this team. They're very knowledgeable. Salute to all the beautiful Raiderettes out there. It is so dope to see how many knowledgeable women football fans in the chat, man. It's amazing, yo. My guy Shalib gifting 10 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships to the masses Salute, my brother. Thank you, bro, for making the Wasted Talent Army grow in droves. In droves. And everybody that got a gifted membership, please say thank you to the person who blessed you with a membership of this great channel. Malcolm Smith, Alden Smith, Geno Smith. Please keep the Smiths away from me. I mean, golly, man. Bruce Billiard said, get Davis West so we can read the GOAT steady. Get the F up out of here, man. Everybody, please say thank you, yo. Just Raiders babies in the place, man. Salute, man. Salute. So look, we've gone over the Lamar Jackson situation. We're over a little bit over now. Salute to everybody. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And Ricky says, great show tonight. Wasted. Appreciate you, man. And thank you, DeMarcus Webb. Yeah, it's time to get to 16,000 subscribers, bro. It's time. We're firmly on our way. Hey guys, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys like the pre-recorded videos? Do you like the pre-recorded videos? Yo, you know what's crazy, man? What I didn't subscribe to today, I didn't subscribe to putting the Mokes in the gulags. See you later, the Mokes. We never knew ye. We never knew ye. Never knew ye. The F up out of here, the Mokes, with your crap. To the gulags you go. To the gulags you go.
Gorilla looking smelly bitch. Motherfucker, you got me fucked up. You.
Hey, my God, Demokes. My God, Demokes. Yeah, the shorts are fire. Okay, all right. So cool. We're gonna have to do that, man. We're gonna have to do that, man. Yes, that's right. 5 minutes for Demokes. 5 minutes. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing those, man. My guy Ricky, he goes, yo, and salute to my guy, Mellow Mark, being a member for 11 months. Yo, I would like you to do a short video on 3 defensive players to watch in the upcoming draft. Brother, I got you. We're about to really start diving in to a lot of these defensive prospects, man. We are about to start diving into a lot of these defensive prospects. So, guys, let me ask you a question, man. So going into this draft, right? Mendoza round 1 done, right? What positions do you guys feel like the Raiders should target going forward? Like, do you guys think they should go offensive line? Do you guys think that they should go wide receiver? Do you think they should go all defense? I mean, I'm under the estimation that I think the Raiders need to improve this defense in the draft. In the draft, I think the Raiders really, really need to get some linebacker help and some edge help right off the bat. I think that the Raiders, you know, invested in the trenches last year as far as from the offensive line. I think they got to let those guys play to see what they have. And I think that they need to go in free agency and outfit this offensive line. I think they can do that. I think they could do that. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm drafting linebackers, corners, defensive tackles, and defensive ends, man. Safeties. Like I just think that they need some youth and depth over there. Youth and depth. Salute to my guy, Bodega. Is he back from, is it the most or is it Bodega? Defensive line and corner. So look, you know, it's funny, man, right? So when I look at the Raiders, right, I start thinking about some of the free agents that are coming out, right? And we've talked ad nauseum about a lot of the free agents that can hit the market. And a lot of people they talk about guys like George Pickens, right? I am out on George Pickens. I don't want George Pickens. You know, people talk about Trey Hendrickson. He's hitting the market. I'm cool on that. But there is one defensive player, and I don't know if he's going to get, you know, franchised. I don't know what the Eagles are going to do. But Jalen Phillips is a guy that I would love the Raiders to take a look at. He's a defensive end. The Eagles acquire him. He was a first-round pick in exchange for a third-round pick, right? He has 73 quarterback pressures. He was tied for 9th most in the National Football League with 41 pressures. I think those pressures are turning to sacks if he's on the other side of Max, right? Jalen Phillips is 26 years old. This is a guy that could really carve his career out here. Tyler Linderbaum, you guys know how I feel about him. I think he should be job 1 for the Raiders. And Devin Lloyd is somebody I think the Raiders need to back the Brinks truck up for. Odafe Owe, too, is another defensive end that they could take a look at. Tariq Woolen. You know, I've always wanted the Raiders. I feel like the Raiders got cheated because they cheated themselves. They didn't draft Tariq Woolen and they drafted Zamir White. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes the Raiders ever made, man. But love that. Yo, Mendoza, then all defense and a running back to buy your old line. I mean, Rudy, I'm on the same sheet of music as you. My God, Stidham was our man, and we let him go, shaking my head. Bro, do you know what Jarrett Stidham's contract looks like? I wasn't paying the kind of money that Jarrett Stidham got. See, everybody says, oh, we let this guy go, we let that guy go, right? Nobody talks about how much they got let go for. Like, people talk about Robert Spillane. I'm not paying Robert Spillane that. I'm sorry, bro. He got a 2-year, $12 million contract extension with Denver in 2025, right? But when he left the Raiders, his contract was even better, from what I understand, man. You know, listen, Jarrett Stidham is very, very highly paid. I would not have done that. I'm glad the Raiders did what they did, man. I'm glad. Mr. Cold-Blooded, my man Cream Corn, Cliff is in a place. He goes, get somebody who can help Max Crosby rush the damn quarterback. Get Eric Gentry from USC. 66 with a 7'8" wingspan. He can play. I mean, Abode, and he can stay with tight ends, man. He can play DE and he can stay with the tight ends. Go out there and go get Eric Gentry from USC, because I'm a USC fan, and Cream Corn is telling you who you needs to be drafting. That was Cliff. Mr. Cold-Blooded. I had to do his voice right now. How do you feel about re-signing Stokes? I think that you got to re-sign Stokes. You can't let guys that play well for you walk out of the building. Like, bro, yeah, there's free agency. Yeah, there's a draft, bro. But you got to keep some of the guys. Like, there's no drawback to signing Eric Stokes. It all depends on how much money he's asking for. But he's a startable player, bro. You can't come in here with the cupboards completely bare. Free Demokes, he's a cool guy. Evil Demokes, he's an effing bum. And so are you. I should block you too, Evil Demokes. Effing bum. That's hilarious, man. Stokes' contract should look like 3 years, 25 mil. Listen, that's market value for his production. That's market value. I can live with that. Because Eric Stokes is a guy that you can start. You ain't got to run him out of town, man. I would love Crosby and Max side by side, bro. I'm going to be real with you. I'm over wanting to bring Khalil Mack back. Like, Khalil Mack doesn't have any affinity for the Raiders. And at the end of the time, I don't want to bring Khalil Mack here, an old player, pay him a shitload of money for what? Like, unless we're, like, ready to go to the Super Bowl, I'm over the Khalil Mack thing. He's not here anymore. He hasn't been here in a very long time. He's on his 3rd team. And you know, I love Mac, but I'm cool. I'm about the future, bro. I don't want to bring in no washed up Khalil Mack for nostalgia purposes. I'm okay with that. I would rather go out there and go sign a player who is in his early or mid 20s, who's on the upswing, who has, you know, his best football ahead of him and not behind him. I don't want to sign anybody whose best football is behind them. And I'm not going to say that Mac is completely washed. He's just not the kind of player that is going to play better at the end of the contract that he signs with the Raiders than he is the day he signs that contract. You got some of these young guys like Devin Lloyd and these guys are going to get better if the Raiders do the right thing. They're going to get better when they get here. Khalil Mack's not going to get better with the Raiders. He's getting older every single day, as we all are, right? But by the end of that contract, that's going to be something that you got to justify to yourself. You know, I would rather draft. Look, defenses are made up of young, agile, mobile, and hostile players, man. I'm sorry. Not to go full Herman Boone on you. Not to go full Herman Boone on y'all, man. I mean, Devin Lloyd, you damn right. Jalen and Max would be a problem, though. Wasted. Too many fans are like lots of wives, always looking back. You crazy, man. Yo, my guy, Juan, damn wasted. We are old as fuck. Yo, you say that to yourself, bro. I am not old. I'm getting better, man. I'm aging like fine wine, man. I mean, what are you talking about, bro? I'm aging like fine wine. What the F is going on? I want to know who our second round pick is going to be. I would love to know that too. I think it's based off of, look, you know what I think on the way out, right? On the way out. I think it's time for us to do a quick mock on the way out, man. I think it's time for us to do a quick mock on the way out. I don't want to hear any of you guys crap. I'm going to share this. We're going to do this mock, and you guys are going to like it. You're going to effing like it. You know why? You know why? Because Stone Cold said so. That's right, Ayo Anthony. That's right. I see you. I see you. He says, please, God, no. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. It is about to happen right now. Applaud me. Applaud me. And Ayo Anthony, I'm sorry.
Man, you a bitch. You a bitch.
I mean, God. My God, Ayo Anthony. What a effing bum. What a effing bum. But guys, listen. Time to start the draft. You guys know you can feel it in the air tonight. Fernando Mendoza is our pick. That's going to happen every single one, right? Now, I love Akeem Mesidor. This guy was a monster. Was a monster. We're going to go and we're going to get an edge to go match up. We're going to be moving Tyree Wilson on to greener pastures. We're drafting an edge rusher, Akeem Mesidor. He was the equal of Ruben Bain in that game, man. He played terrific. We're going to go on ahead and get us our edge rusher. Elijah Sarah is there in the third, right? But this is the thing, right? There are some players here, man, that we got to think about. Taurine York is a beast, right? Elijah Sarah, I mean, I like the kid, right? I think he is a very good young player, man. I really do. I like him. But yo, there's so many other players between him and so many other needs that I don't necessarily think I'm gonna take them. Let me ask the chat. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? Becker's not coming out, Shalib. Becker's too young. Becker's not coming out. Charlie Becker's too young, bro. He can't come out. Like, I'm cool on Sarah, bro. I'm cool on him, bro. I mean, listen, I'm gonna go defense, bro. I'm gonna stick to my board. I'm gonna stick to my board. Sticking to my board, man. Sticking my board, man. Sticking to my board. So look, let's go linebacker. We got our edge. You got Taurine York. We got Jacob Rodriguez, Trey Moore. Harold Perkins is a beast. Eric Gentry, monster. Look, what I think I can do is I think I can go on out here, man, and I can really do something that a lot of people wouldn't expect me to do. I'm gonna draft Taurine York. I could have got a linebacker later. D'Angelo Pons was gone, right? So I had to go out there and go get me my linebacker, right? Now, right now, we're looking at BPA. We got a running back on the board. Okay, we still got some tackles on the board. I'm probably gonna go a little later in the draft with some of these guys. I'm gonna draft Will Lee from Texas A&M. He's the best corner remaining on the board. So now we're in a situation where we drafted Fernando Mendoza. We got our line. We got our edge. We got a linebacker. We went heavy Texas A&M. We got us a starting corner. Now, look, I think it's time that we address the offensive line. I think we can't leave this draft without taking an offensive lineman. We can't. Now, Drew Allard sitting right there. Michael Taft is sitting right there too. I think I'm gonna take a safety. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? I'm gonna take Taft, bro. I like him, bro. I'm gonna take him. We're gonna have a hell of a defense, man. I'm taking Taft, bro. I'm not gonna be crazy and draft a quarterback, man. Now Drew Shelton is right there. Pat Coogan. I think I can wait on Pat Coogan, man. Malachi Lawrence is there too. I love Malachi Young. Damn, my God. Damn, they got Davis that damn low. So Trey Moore is there. Let me see who I got. I'm going to try to check out my offensive tackles. I'll probably wait on Drew Shelton. Defensive interior. Yeah, man. I'm taking my tackle. I'm getting Drew Shelton. I gotta walk away with at least one lineman. I would think. So, guys, we've gotten our quarterback of the future. We got a running mate for Max Crosby. We got a stud young linebacker. We got a corner. We got a safety, and we got a tackle. And now it's just pretty much getting the best players. Like Damani Jackson. We're going for another corner. We have to outfit that room a little better than we had. So I'm gonna go and get my guy. Let me see, how many running backs are left. I think we got to get a backup. And my guy, Roman Henry's right there. We're gonna pair him with Fernando Mendoza. We got our backup running back. So right now, this is one of our last picks. We haven't gotten a wide receiver. We have not gotten a wide receiver, man. We haven't gotten a defensive lineman, an inside lineman, and interior lineman. I think I'm going to go with my guy, Zane Durant. I like Zane Durant. It's a big body guy. So, one position of need that we didn't address was wide receiver. I'm going to take my guy, Reggie Virgil. Big fella. So there we go. There was our mock. Yo. Salute. What do you guys think about it? Yo, my guy, Ruben Russ. What is Jalen Phillips' projected contract? The Eagles have a lot of young players they have to pay. Nola Smith, N'Kobe Dean, Jordan Davis. Next year, Jalen Carter is going to want a record-setting money for DT. Jalen Phillips is going to be on the open market. That's just clear. He's going to be in an open market, and the Raiders are going to have it. I don't know what his market value is. I could try to find that for you, but I think Phillips is going to be out there, man. But guys, listen. Salute to my guy Ruben Russ, man. Appreciate you, bro, for the $10 slapperoo. But let's look at our draft, man. A+ Fernando Mendoza, B Akeem Isidore, Tareen York C+, Will Lee A-, Michael Taft C+, Drew Shelton A-, Damani Jackson B, Roman Henry F, Zane Durant B-, Reggie Vigil B. Roman Henry, they didn't like my Roman Henry pick. I wanted to pair him with his running back, man. I wanted to pair my quarterback with his running back, man. Think I got good value, man. It's a good draft, man. It's a great draft. Shannon Johnson. This is how bad teams draft. Take a quarterback first and ignore the line to the 5th pick. JPJ and Miller are injury prone every year. The right tackle freaking sucks. See, Shannon Johnson, this is the reason why, you come to Raider Nation Unlimited. Because what you don't understand is that we said before the draft, you effing bum, that we were going to address the offensive line and free agency because we got $106 million of cap space, and there are 3 pretty good offensive linemen that are available. Then you drafted 2 offensive linemen last year who are looking like they, you got to give them some reps. You got to give, Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant some burn, right? You drafted him last year. You didn't draft him for your fucking health. Then you can go out there and go get Smith. You can go out there and go get Tyler Linderbaum. You could, there's so many guys that are out there. Walker, all of these guys. There are a lot of good offensive linemen that are coming up in this damn free agent class. But see, if you knew better, you do better. And you can get the F crap. I mean, what the F are you talking about? Get unceremoniously blocked. Sick of hearing that narrative. This offensive line is going to be a lot better. What people don't look at is coaching. That means tell me you don't know the game by telling me you don't know the game. So you got two guys you drafted highly last year. You got to let them guys play. You got another guy in Jackson Powers Johnson that, he gets hurt, but he's your starter. Colton Miller just started to get hurt, but you got the heir apparent on the roster in Grant. You go out there, you go and bring in two starters on the line, you're good. Then you can take those young guys that you were developing, and now they're depth. DJ Glaze, Dalton Wagner, they're depth. Now you got a hell of an offensive line. And a lot of what happened with this line was 100% coaching. You talking about drafting Francis Mayoga, he's going to be like a top 5 pick. You can't draft him and Fernando Mendoza. I'm drafting my quarterback this year. We had the worst offensive line coach in damn history, damn. Who's my pro comp for D'Angelo Pons? It's rough because I don't necessarily know how fast D'Angelo Pons is. I know he's aggressive. I know he's a great. He reminds me of Josh Norman. He is aggressive. But let me tell you something. You start talking about the offensive line and how bad they are and how bad these players are. Look no further than this man right here. Rest in peace. Yes, this is the guy. This is the guy that made this offensive line bad. The Undertaker himself, this effing bum. He is an effing bum. That is the reason. And I don't compare him to no Amik Robinson. Amik Robinson is 5'8" or 6. I don't know. No, I don't. The two we drafted did show worth. Still need to draft the top offensive lineman to protect your QB. You can't blame everything. But, bro, there's only how many positions are on the line? Colton Miller, you paid him already. He's been your left tackle for a long time. Colton Miller will be fine. Colton Miller left tackle. JPJ might be your center. He might not. If JPJ's your guard, cool, right? Then Tyler Linderbaum's coming out. Unrestricted free agent. You got some of the most money in the damn league. Tyler Linderbaum, boom, your center. JPJ, your guard, boom. Charles Grant, right tackle, because he flashed. He looked great. Then you want to be cute, go out there, go get your guard too. And then have him and Caleb Rogers battle it out. Now you got depth. And you bringing a guy in the draft. Yo, I'm giving you information, not affirmation, my boy. Oh, my God. Applaud me. F up out of here with that crap. But, guys, listen, man. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Love all of y'all, man. Cliff, I think you need to take your 70s rhetoric to the gulags for the last 5 minutes of the show, Cliff. That's it. That's it. Enough of this cream corn. To the gulags you go. But salute, everybody. Love y'all, man. Love y'all. We're going to be back at it tomorrow. It's a Wasted and Grab and Wasted show, man. Good night, all of y'all. Peace. Love every single one of y'all. Hey, Zon, get ready to shovel, my brother. It is going to snow like 10,000 mother effers. You guys, salute to every single one of y'all out there. Free Cliff in the gulags. Love y'all, man. Have a good night. We are out of here. We will see y'all tomorrow. Wasted and Grab show, Graph and Wasted show. We will be in the place to be. And if DeMokes talks his crap in that live, he will be bounced out of here unceremoniously, guys. Listen, y'all. Peace, man. And peace to that Jive Turkey clip, too, man. Peace, man. We are out of here, baby. Wait, really quickly before I leave, salute to my guy, Raider Jeff. Raider Jeff says, we're getting like 2 feet. And what I say to that is, my brother, that's what she said. That is what she said. Hi-oh!